No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay people, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video. In this one in particular, I want to talk about a lot of stuff that is coming out in fall 2021 and just in general things that I'm looking forward to. And it's not only going to be exclusive to anime, but also maybe a couple of games, TV shows and stuff like that. But definitely still there will be anime, because I ain't gonna lie, summer of 2021's anime season was very dry for me, minus the carryovers from the previous season like Tokyo Revengers, My Hero Academia and stuff like that, which, you know, yeah, y'all know how I felt about this season of My Hero Academia. For the most part, summer 2021 wasn't the biggest for me. It was a lot of rewatching older stuff for me. It was a lot of checking out what's going on live action side of things and stuff like that. Like, it was just me venturing off because summer of 2021 wasn't the most hype. However, fall of 2021 is looking a little bit of a different story. There's some titles that aren't necessarily being hyped up that I want to talk about. There's a few different things that have caught my interest in general. Quite a few different things that have caught my interest. So yeah, I guess let's just start off. For starters, one of the ones which I've already talked about before that I'm a little bit hyped for, but nevertheless, Jobless Reincarnation, the second half of season 1, I believe, or I don't know if it's considered season 2, but basically the next batch of episodes, which I want to say the first episode already came out for this season, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Rudy's development, to be honest with you, because it seemed like for a moment there he was going down a little bit of a darker path. He was doing some shady things, to say the least, and now that he kind of has a squad going on, honestly, Jobless Reincarnation kind of morphed into something a little bit different. When it first started, I was like, okay, where is this going? It's like this dude that he was a 30-something-year-old NEET, and he's being reincarnated, and it was kind of going down like a little bit of a more pervy, ecchi route in the beginning, and then now it kind of seems like it turned more into like a Sword Art Online type of deal with guilds and stuff like that to a certain degree. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I want to see more of Paul. Paul was my guy, I'm not going to lie. You know, the hilarious stuff that Paul would do and how he was just like couldn't keep it in his pants. So I'm really interested to see Paul, although I'm guessing that maybe things is going to be a little bit darker. Well, actually not maybe, more than likely it's going to be a lot more darker with Paul because of everything that happened with, what was it, his people got kidnapped, his wife and the maid, if I'm not mistaken, they were kidnapped. Maybe I'm off on that, but I'm interested to see more of what's going on with Paul on that side of things, and just in general Rudy's party, his new people that he got with him. I want to see those relationships develop a little bit more. Just interested in general to see Jobless Reincarnation. I like where we're at right now. It's not the greatest thing in the world. For me, it was weird with season 1. It was like, okay, I'm on like a damn near 9 out of 10, and then as it started to develop a little bit and went away from the stuff that I originally was really into, like, yo, this dude is crazy, you know, he's a 30-something-year-old, now he's in this little kid body, all the crazy things he could do. It kind of shied away a little bit from that, and he uses the intellect now that he has as a 30-something-year-old man to kind of deduce problems and things like that moving forward into like these bigger, grander situations. So it's like a give and a take, I guess you could say, but I'm still nevertheless looking forward to it. And again, I want to say episode 1 is already out, if I'm not mistaken. And also something about that dub, man, like, problem is that they took forever to finish releasing the dub of season 1, but I really like the dub, especially of Rudy's older voice. I don't know who is the actor, but he almost feels like something that is not a voice actor that does anime. Like, I really appreciated his voice, so I'm looking forward to more of that. Again, I'll probably end up watching it sub though, just because the dub takes a really long time. I don't know what is going on over there with Funimation when it comes to that dub, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Next up on the agenda, Demon Slayer season 2. That'll be a wait for me, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm out of curiosity, I am checking out the first anime original episode that they had announced, that there's going to be an anime original episode. I'm gonna look at that one. If there's something notable, then maybe I'll actually cover it and stuff like that. I might actually even do some like Demon Slayer discussions, because I missed out on the Demon Slayer wave, just being honest with you. Like, I talked about the anime at the beginning of it, like the first episode or two, and then I talked about it at the end of its run almost. I never really made manga videos other than a final wrap up of the manga, so maybe some discussions might come out of it. But in terms of, again, in case you don't know, they're re-airing the Mugen Train up until December. Then you'll get the next arc, the Entertainment District or Red Light District arc. Yeah, I'll check out the first episode, and I could be totally wrong, and I could be end up, you know, watching every week just because, like, just keeping it real. But I'm really not looking forward to it, and I still feel like, ah, damn, why you gotta milk us, man? Like, there's nothing to do on, I want to say it comes out, what, is it Saturdays or Sundays? If there's nothing to do on those days, I might get around to watching it, but it's very, very low on my priorities list, and I really don't have any plans as of right now to watch anything other than the first episode of this next season, and again, when the new arc starts to be animated in December, and maybe even the ends of the Mugen Train, because there were some stuff still, like relics, I guess you would say, from the end of the Mugen Train that wasn't animated in the film. There's some stuff connected to it that they might actually animate before even the Entertainment District arc, so I might actually look towards the end of those episodes when they're about to wrap up the Mugen Train adaptation to see if they add any of those extra bits that weren't animated, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Again, I'm not as enthusiastic for the beginning of it. Once we get to the Entertainment District arc, I will be all over it. I'll be watching it week to week, and again, maybe some discussions will come out of all of it. World Trigger Season 3, I'm not caught up on World Trigger, but I did feel it was notable to mention because a lot of people are hype about it, and also I've heard nothing but praise about the last season of World Trigger when they turned it into a seasonal anime of the art and animation. I'm just always interested in the popularity over there for World Trigger. Like over here, World Trigger isn't all that popular, but apparently it's like 15 million sales deep, which that's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. What, it came around like the same time as, I want to say maybe it was like a year or two older than Black Clover, I want to say, and that's around like the same sales. Black Clover's like 16 million and World Trigger's 15 million, so it's definitely popular enough over there, and I think the anime does very well, which is what made it to, you know, it had like an original arc over there in Japan in the first season, and then season 2 they did a beautiful animation, and then now we got season 3. So for fans of that, look forward to it. That's why I mentioned it. But to be honest with you, I'm very behind on World Trigger. I'm still only on like, I want to say episode 20 something of season 1. Like, I got a ways to go, but it was worthy to note at the very least of things that not only myself, but I'm sure a bunch of you are excited for when it comes to this fall 2021. And again, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff on here. Yashahime Princess Half Demon Season 2. I've said this a billion times. I'll say it once more. I got to finish Season 1. I'll keep it real with you. When it was revealed, I forget where it was exactly, but when it was revealed who was the wife or the baby mama, that's kind of what ruined it for me, because I always looked at it as like Rin was like a daughter to this dude, and yeah, I've said this a billion times, so that's kind of what ruined it for me. I was kind of grossed out, but people said that it's not focused on, it's not the biggest deal in the world, and the series besides that is actually really good, so that's something that I'm going to dive back into the story, because I really want to know what the hell happened to Inuyasha. That was one of the things that kept me going, and they strung us along. I really want to know what happened to Inuyasha, Kagome, the old cast. I know, I want to, Miroku, I want to say, Miroku, the you know, pervy, I was going to say pervy sage, shout outs to Jiraiya, but that dude, I want to say he was showcased where I was at. I remember seeing him, and he was like kind of older now and strong and shit like that, so it was dope to see him. I gotta finish season 1 so I could jump into season 2, but I liked also the episodic nature of Yashahime Princess Half Demon. Like, it was episodic, kind of like Inuyasha, so it was kind of like, you know, you could just turn your brain off and have some fun looking at the offsprings of Inuyasha and Kagome, and Sesshomaru's offsprings especially. So shout outs to Yashahime. I'll be eventually getting to that point. This one right here though, absolutely watching it. I want to say it should be coming out soon. No, it's not out yet, but should be coming out soon by the time this video comes out. Platinum End, from the creators of Death Note, Bakuman. These dudes, y'all know that they don't miss, and from what I remember, again, I read like the first handful of chapters, that shit was really, really dark and gritty. I'm worried about, because from what I saw with the trailer, the art and animation didn't look like, you know, stellar per se. It wasn't like no MAPPA or anything like that. Not that it needs to be. Every anime doesn't need to be at that quality, especially considering I trust these dudes' judgments immensely for creating stories. Like, they're really good at making, first half of Death Note is a damn near, no, not damn near, it is a masterpiece. First half of Death Note, then they got kind of dragged to make more or whatever, but Platinum End, 100% excited. I think that, honestly, if they do this one correctly, I think this could be one that over here in the West be trending on Twitter and all sorts of stuff, because again, it was just really graphic and violent and edgy as hell, and if you combine that with some hopefully good storytelling to wrap it all up, because essentially Platinum End sounded like, from what I remember, Future Diary, and Future Diary was really hype. Obviously, there really wasn't social media like that at the time when Future Diary was airing. If not, I could have seen Future Diary being one of those every week on the timeline, and I think Platinum End could be as well, but there's some skepticism on my part as well, because I know that this sounds like a rush job. There's like, I don't know how many volumes, but there's a lot of volumes, and they're cramming it all into 24 episodes, opposed to it probably needed like 50 episodes or something. So this could be a very big hit, a very big miss, or something in between, because not always can a rush job, like sometimes there's a few exceptions where a rush job can still kind of work, and what I mean by that is, I will, to the death of me, and I know people out there, they'll still say no, but to the death of me, I will defend Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. The rest of it, you got me. I can't defend that. It was a catastrophe. But Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, and I read the entire manga from the very beginning, so I can tell you what I'm saying is factual based on what I feel at the very least. That, yeah, they skipped out on a lot of stuff, and it wasn't faithful to the adaptation. There were a couple of problems, but I absolutely loved and adored Tokyo Ghoul, and I still do the first season of the anime, and I feel like if they could kind of do something along those lines with Platinum End and make it work the way Tokyo Ghoul Season 1 worked, I think it could be a big one. So I'm excited for it. Again, Platinum End, I know a little bit, there's like angels in there. Again, it's like Future Diary from my understanding, so I'm hype about it, and I'll definitely be watching, and I will definitely, at the very least, do a first impression of it once it drops. Next up, the My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission film that is hitting theaters. I already pre-ordered my tickets for October 29th. I really better get my booklet in there in case you didn't see the episode of Forever News where I was talking about, because you get a free booklet if you go over to watch it in theaters, whatever. I am not the most excited per se for this film, just keeping it real. Like, I'm hoping for something great. I'm hopeful that it'll live up to some reviews that I've seen, and I'm just, in general, like, I'm going more so for the experience. It's always an experience, and it's always something fun to do, to go watch an anime film, anything anime related in theaters, because I remember 10 years ago where that wasn't even a thing. You know, there was no going to the theaters to watch an anime film, minus once in a blue moon that they will put an old Miyazaki film for like a day or something like that. There was none of this. So anytime there's ever an opportunity to go watch something that I like in theaters, I'm going to do so. But from one of the things that, honestly, I'll just keep it real, and it's not really a spoiler. Maybe you might find it a spoiler. I don't know. So I'll throw a spoiler alert just in case, but it's not really a spoiler. Is that I heard a good chunk of the film is based off Deku, and this new character that was introduced to the film for like 70% of the film is just them two. And that doesn't sound like, you know what I mean? That doesn't sound great. I want to see all the other cast. There's like a giant cast of characters in My Hero, and I like the way they did it in Heroes Rising, and I want to see more of that type of story. Like, if it's just 70% of a bromance between Deku and this new character, it's like, that doesn't sound enticing. And I get it that this film catered towards a female audience, and the female audience loved it. They were the ones that watched it the most over there in Japan, apparently, according to, you know, the stats that were released and whatnot. But yeah, that's not something that I'm mad hype over. Like, oh my god, but either way, I will be watching My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission October 29th. Still looking forward to it, and I'm going to, I'm sure, have a decent time. Next up, Blue Period. Now, I don't know much about this series. I've been recommended it quite frequently. I've heard it's really good. I know that there's some deal that it's going to be like a Netflix exclusive. Let's actually read what this series is about. I want to say I've actually even read the synopsis, but I can't remember, so forgive me on that. But it says, second-year high school student Yatora Yaguchi is bored with his normal life. He studies well and plays around with his friends, but in truth, he does not enjoy either of those activities. Bound by norms, he secretly envies those who do things differently. That is, until he discovers the joy of drawing. I love art. When he sees a painting made by a member of the art club, Yatora becomes fascinated with the colors used in it. Later, in an art exercise, he tries to convey his language without words, but instead through painting. After that experience, Yatora finds himself so invested in art that he decides that it is what he wants to do for a living. But there stand multiple obstacles in his way. His parents, who are hesitant over his unique choices, his more experienced peers, and the study of a subject much deeper than he initially expected. And I am definitely going to be watching this one. In fact, each episode will be released on Netflix 1 week ahead of the TV broadcast in Japan and 1 week after abroad. Thus, domestic streaming began. Oh, it already began? September 25th, 2021, and the regular, international streaming begins October 9th, so it'll hit on October 9th on Netflix, and I'm definitely going to watch that. That sounds right up my alley. That sounds really good. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I don't know too much about it, but I've heard good things about it, and this sounds good. And who's making it? 7 Arcs. I'm not familiar with that studio, but yeah, I got a 7.8 on Mal. Maybe it'll be dope. I don't know. Then, Comey Can't Communicate. That's another one that I'm not too familiar with. I want to say it's that the character is like a mute, if I'm not mistaken, and I think she has to use sign. What is it? Comey Can't Communicate. Let's read the synopsis of this one. It's Shoko Comey's first day at the prestigious Eton Private High School, and she has already risen to the status of the school's Madonna. With long black hair and a tall, graceful appearance, she captures the attention of anyone who comes across her. There's just one problem, though. Despite her popularity, Shoko is terrible slow at communicating with others. Hitohito Tadano is your average high school boy. With his life motto of read the situation and make sure to stay away from trouble, he quickly finds that sitting next to Shoko has made him the enemy of everyone in his class. One day, knocked out by accident, Hitohito later wakes up to the sound of Shoko's meow. He lies that he heard nothing, causing Shoko to run away, but before she can escape, Hitohito surmises that Shoko is not able to talk to others easily. In fact, she has never been able to make a single friend. Hitohito resolves to help Shoko with her goal of making 100 friends so that she can overcome her communication disorder. This sounds good for people that have social anxiety, and I ain't gonna lie, it doesn't sound too bad, and it got a nice rating on Mal, 8.6. It's Studio OLM. I'm not familiar with them either, but I could see me watching this one. This seems like something different. Like, I'm just excited in general for the fall 2021 season, especially if I have no idea about a series or barely anything other than, hey, I heard it's good. I'm interested in checking them out. I'm open-minded. Summer 2021 was drier than my grandma's elbows. You know what I'm saying? It was a dry season, fam. So yeah, Comey Can't Communicate. I'll be checking that one out. I'm not sure. I can't promise I'll stay on it, but I can promise that I will check it out. And if it's something interesting, maybe I'll even do a first impression video here, because I'm in that mood. I don't know. This fall season, I'm really hyped. Then, just quickly, Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles video game. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about things other than just anime specifically. That is the #1 game that I am most excited for, hands down, this year. I am just so excited. What are we on? The 7th? I want to say it comes out on the 15th, is it? Yeah, I want to say it's a week from tomorrow. So next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday, it'll be out, hands down, getting it day one. My niece and nephew are both big fans of the Naruto Storm games. They both watched Demon Slayer Season 1. We're all going to be playing this shit together. I'm very excited for it. I ain't going to lie. Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles, from what we've seen, the graphics look dope. It's going to suck for people that like to stream games, because it seems like they're cracking down very badly. Like, and I want to say I heard that some of the anime's OST is going to be in the game, so pretty much you're gonna have to mute the game. You can't really have, unless you could like mute just the music, the OST, and like have the sound effects. But then also they were going after footage in general, giving people like strikes and all sorts of stuff. Like, that's really bad business. Especially CyberConnect 2 should have learned that when Naruto Storm was a thing, one of the big things that pushed it was a lot of people playing it, especially on YouTube, like Shiga's Clouds and stuff like that. Like, those dudes really put Naruto Storm on the map. How you gonna do this to Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles? I really hope that they don't push that, because this is a really awesome game from the looks of it, and I'm very much so excited. It looks like the same exact engine as Storm, but tweaked. I can't wait. Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles. Game of the year for ForneverWorld. Anime game. You guessed it. Another one. This one is a live action show that I've been waiting for a little bit. It's called You, and I'm waiting for season 3, and I want to say season 3 is in the next few days as well. Oh my god, this is going to be so good of a time. Good of a time to be a fan of entertainment, of TV shows and anime. You is about some dude that he is like a stalker, obsessed weirdo, that like he falls in love with a woman and he just stalks the living crap out of her. It's really creepy to watch this dude and how he maneuvers and whatnot, and I'm worried that season 3 is not going to be able to capture the magic that the first 2 seasons did, especially season 1. Like, season 2, there was a noticeable dip in quality to a certain degree, and now season 3, considering how season 2 ended off, it seems like he's going to potentially have like a crazy wife with him, and that kind of reminds me of the Dexter novels, because you know, this guy Joe, he is pretty much like Dexter, but almost, I don't know, he's like Dexter's son. If you follow Dexter, the live action show, which we're going to talk about that in a second, you know, about the murderer, serial killer, whatnot, that worked for the Miami Police Department. He's kind of like that, but not as fine-tuned as Dexter, not as careful as Dexter, and just in general, not as deadly as Dexter, but I still really love You. I'm just worried that season 3 is going to just be really unbelievable in a not-so-good way, because it's like, now you got a crazy murderous wife with you, and you're falling in love with the next door neighbor. I don't know. I'm still excited for it. And then while we're on it, I want to say in November, we got the new season of Dexter. That's something that I'm really hopeful that they could give Dexter a better ending than what they did. That shit about Lumberjack, like, oh my god, I just actually, the other day, came across a Facebook post of me from around that time ranting about it and saying, hey guys, I think I'm done with my life. I'm going to become a lumberjack and move into the woods. Like, I was like, oh my god, and I get it. There was deeper meaning of him putting himself in isolation, yada yada. I hated it. So I'm really hoping that this is a good opportunity for redemption in for Showtime and Dexter. I want to see some good stuff. I was obsessed with Dexter back in the day. I want something good from it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they do something good with this one to give a nice closure to Dexter, or if they're going to continue it on, at least make it exciting and interesting. I'm sure they're going to have Batista return from the Miami. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy if they actually end up finding Dexter and hunting him down. That's the ending that they should have given us all along, but we got to wait and see. Next up, I'm not the most excited for this one, but this could be good. The SAO Sword Art Online progressive film, which I don't know if we're going to be able to get our hands on it. It'll probably be a little bit because I think it's coming out in Japanese theaters, and then we're gonna have to wait a little bit. I'm excited for it just because like Aincrad was one of the best parts of Sword Art Online. It felt very deadly, and don't get me wrong, because there was some other stuff, and I'm not even caught up, so I don't know what the hell after SAO 2, what happens and whatnot. But Sword Art Online 1, there was so much missed opportunity for it to be like, it could have been legendary, especially from what I heard Reki Kawahara's original novels and stuff. That was really good. But yeah, they rushed through Aincrad, so getting an opportunity to see Aincrad again, this time through the eyes of Asuna. I'm looking forward to it for the most part. Again, it's been a long time since I've done or watched or experienced any SAO related stuff, so this could be good. I'm going to check it out when we get an opportunity, maybe. And if they have it in theaters, I'll go to theaters. If not, I'll wait to, watch it on home video. I'm not stressed about it, but I am going to watch it. Next up, another and I know I'm all over the place, anime, video games, TV shows. I know. This one, I'm very, very excited to watch. The Chucky TV series that is coming to Sci-Fi. Oh my God, I can't freaking wait. I love Chucky. I've seen every film. I've seen it multiple times. My daughter loves Chucky. There's like a whole new, if you go down the rabbit hole of YouTube, you see that kids are actually really not scared of this anymore, which is mad crazy, because when I was little, I was terrified of it. But you see kids, they want to cosplay as Chucky, or dress up as Halloween costumes as Chucky and Tiffany and stuff like that. Like, there's a whole new generation that they're not scared of these things, and my daughter's one of them. So there's gonna be a little bonding time with us to watch this show. If it's too graphic or anything like that, then because like I put on the edited versions of any of the Chucky films that I can get, the edited ones, and sometimes I gotta don't look at this part or whatever. But this is gonna be one that, which I think it's going to be, since it's going to be on Sci-Fi, it's not going to be a film that's rated R or anything like that. It probably will be okay. It's not going to be too graphic or anything like that. But in general, I'm just looking forward to seeing this little 2-foot doll cause mayhem over there in Hackensack, New Jersey. I want to get more of the insight into Charles Lee Ray, his backstory, the connections to this cast of characters. I like the latest trailer that they got there. You see Andy Barkley. You got what's the name of the girl that was like his older sister, quote unquote, in the second Child's Play movie? I can't remember, but they got her in there as well. I'm excited, I ain't gonna lie. They got the return as well of Brad Dourif's daughter, that she's also possessed by Chucky. So there's gonna be a lot of interesting things to go, especially considering it seems like it's continuing off from where the last film left off with Chucky. I'm just excited to have some fun with it, man. It's gonna be, I think, 8 or 10 episodes, and it's starting October 12th, I want to say, next Tuesday. I'm watching it. My daughter's gonna watch it. We're gonna have a blast. I got a life-size, very expensive, mind you, Chucky right here. I used to have it in some of my videos. It's like right here. So if you ever see a doll creeping over in the middle of my videos and I don't catch it on the editing side, just know it's just little Chucky boy coming to say hi. Now, cutting back to anime, I want to say that they're going to be, if I'm not mistaken, in November 21st through the 22nd, the Gintama final film is going to be in theaters. I forgot about that one until just now, looking at this sheet that I had wrote down a little bit ago. Yeah, I gotta watch that, man. The last Gintama film, oh my God, Forever Yorozuya. Oh my God, that was such a godlike film. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, is going to kind of wrap up. It's going to be like a recap, essentially, of how the story ended and whatnot. I can't freaking wait to watch Gintama in all of its glory in theaters. Let's freaking go. I'm glad that they're doing this. In the recent years, it wasn't the biggest push, but they definitely tried to make a push to make Gintama more, I guess, accepted and just more in general out there to the mainstream media in the West. It just never really picks up because a lot of Gintama's humor is embedded in Japanese culture, so it's hard for people to gravitate towards it. But I mean, if you take out the humor stuff aside, some of the stuff is really deep and very sad stuff of Gintoki's life, his master, Takasugi, everything that goes down, especially like the last couple years of the manga was just amazing, man. Really good stuff. So Gonna watch that in theaters. The upcoming Halloween film, I don't know. I want to watch it, but like, how many Halloween films? I want to say like it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago that there was a Halloween movie that came out again, and I remember I fell asleep in the theater watching it. I remember it was like I was 10 minutes into the film, and then I woke up like, what the fuck happened, yo? What's going on here? So I might, if my nieces and nephews drag me to the theater, I might go watch it. It's cool. Every time I always feel like there should be a Halloween movie in theaters around Halloween. It just is fitting. It reminds me of the good old days and stuff like that. So I'm happy that there is one, but they've been making a lot of them, and it's always with Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, we get it. Jamie Lee Curtis, haunted. I'm sure she must go through some type of psychological trauma being in these films since she was like a teenager and shit. Like, poor Jamie Lee Curtis. Well, I'm sure her pockets don't mind. She's, loaded out the wazoo over those films. World's End Harem. I heard it's nothing but like straight up damn near hentai. I wouldn't mind checking out. Let me know if y'all want to see just like a little one-off video. Maybe watch the first episode and I'll do a little first impression on it or whatever. But I've heard some crazy stuff, and that video probably even get demonetized, to be honest with you. That's how bad I've heard it really goes. Then this was one recently that some people, because I put out something on Twitter asking people what they're excited for. Mieruko-chan, which I want to say it's a horror anime. I'm excited for that. It looks kind of interesting. I'm going to check out the first episode. Not sure if I'll do a first impression or not, but at the very least, I'll be taking a look. Then there's a series called Visual Prison. This is one that I looked at that the description sounded kind of interesting. It says, Anji Yuki, a boy who wrestles with deep-seated loneliness and can't fit in. With nobody to call family, he leaves his hometown. Longing to see an artist he admires perform, he heads for Harajuku, where he encounters a live battle between visual key units Eclipse and Lost Eden. Overwhelmed by the energetic performance, he is suddenly struck by an intense pain. I'm curious what that is. Maybe he gets like some superpower to be able to make music. I don't know. It sounds interesting. It sounds kind of dope. I'm going to be taking a look at that one as well. And then I just put in there for shits and giggles, even though it doesn't come out till December, and we probably won't get it till like January, February, the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero film. That is a billion% must. Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, you got to go see it. Even if you've never watched the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, you have no plans on it, that film is a must watch. Definitely go watch when you get a chance. And yeah, people, this was a spontaneous video I wanted to do. I'm sure you've seen the head wrap. Forgive the head wrap. There's reasons is why I got the head wrap on right now. But yeah, let me know. Fall 2021. I don't care if it's TV shows, manga, anime, comic books, whatever it may be. What are you excited for? Summer was dry as hell, and fall came through. It was like, I got you, fam. I'm gonna save you from your boredom, baby. Let's go. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And fall 2021. Let's go. There's so many shows, anime, games, movies. Let's do it.
So just go to